Hello, everyone. I am Christopher Shaw, founder of MerkabaRetreats.com, and this is.
Aon Archer, co-facilitator at Merkaba Retreats.
We are so excited to have our alumni here tonight for a special alumni reunion panel discussion. Welcome to Sorellen, Drabo, and Eric. Thank you guys for making it. We're super excited to hear what you have to say. Before we begin, let's start with a little opening prayer. Beloved family, we gather once more, not just to remember, but to rekindle the flame we lit together. We honor the land, the medicine, the breath, and each soul here who said yes to the path. May this circle be a mirror of our growth, a celebration of our truth, and a reminder that the work continues in beauty, in power, and in love. We call forth the light of the Merkaba within us, that we may speak from the soul, listen with reverence, and rise together once more. Om Guru Om. All right, everybody. Okay, first question tonight on our panel is, what was going on in your life? Like, what challenges were you having when you sought out a Merkaba retreat? What was happening? And you just jump in.
I'll go first then.
Okay.
I had been struggling. I had been struggling with a brain disease that was, I mean, I it's the result of a lot of things, including PTSD that I had struggled with my entire life, and very reactionary behavior, a lot of anger, um, the inability to control myself in certain situations, the need to run or flee certain situations. And, then on top of this, to get this really tough, incurable diagnosis was just like, okay, I need to try something else because the Western medicine that I was being delivered was just not cutting it. And I had heard through other people that, indigenous plant and earth medicines had the ability to go beyond what Western medicine could do. And I was really desperate to find a solution on all fronts, everything from the mental health issues to the actual physical situations that I was having with it's called dystonia or stiff person syndrome. And while I was kind of curing myself already through a bunch of different modalities, um, I felt like this was really going to be the watershed moment to burn away a lot of the other stuff that was keeping me a little bit crazy, a little bit like, angry, a little bit frustrated all the time. I had a short fuse, and I was raised Baptist, and it was evident. So, I knew that I felt called to do this. Like for me internally, it was a calling, and I had to go do this. And even though it kind of ended my marriage, um, I chose that. I chose the healing. I chose what I knew I needed to go and do above all else. Because if I didn't have that, if I didn't have brain health, if I didn't have control of my emotional intelligence, then everything else was going to suffer. And so that was kind of the before.
Okay. All right. How about you, Drabo?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about I felt like I was starting to like literally just starting to go into like previous bad habits, and I I was just stuck, is for the lack of a better word. Everything just felt stuck. I wasn't moving in any direction. It just felt like mud in any direction I went. And so when I then yeah, I came back to you in therapy, and you told me about the retreats. And um yeah, it was like the whole reason, like I went back and found you. I think like I feel like it was meant to be. And um I very much got unstuck. And my life has changed drastically. Some things I've chosen, some things not so much. But I think going through the retreat was prepared me for what came after the retreat. I'm still in the thick of this wave too. And yeah, I don't think I would have been able to handle what I'm going through right now without having gone through that retreat. It was very vital to me to get unstuck and I don't know, clear the cobwebs, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it got much clearer, not necessarily easier,
Right.
but clearer. And therefore, I don't know, easier to cope with.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, even though there are tough things happening, but yeah, very much. Um, I don't know. I very think these retreats will very much be a regular part of my mental health journey in whatever ways that it's needed. Um, yeah, I appreciate what I got from it for sure.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Being a recovering Southern Baptist, I completely understand the feeling of things being forced upon me. And one of the things that I really forced upon myself was this feeling and these thoughts of not being worthy of being loved. Um, that I couldn't be loved uh, because of the past occurrences in my life, right? Things that I chose, things that I decided, things that were chosen for me, um, and decided for me uh, well before I had the ability and capability to think and act freely. Um, th- Going into the retreat, that's really the thing that um, let me back that up. Before going to the retreat, I didn't have any thoughts about what I wanted to work on, what I needed to work on. But upon getting into the space, to getting into the right mind where I need to be, the right heart, the right soul, is finding out that this thing I had covering me would not allow me to um, accept the love that was being given to me from everybody, from everywhere. And I definitely could not love the way that I needed to, right? I wanted to love the way others wanted me to.
Yeah.
And you know, those were, at least as of now, that I know now, those are two of the biggest things that while they're tied together, was really, really blocking me from shining and showing up like me, like who I know I am, who I know I am. And I always have been. It was just, there was a stopping point. And now there may be stops along the way, but they're temporary, just like a rest area. I can choose to go in or go out. And most of the time, I don't want to go in them, don't need to. Yeah, that was me before my first retreat.
Right.
And so, as co-facilitator, I've also been on a Merkaba retreat before I became co-facilitator. And having been a shamanic practitioner for 15 years, I have been awake before. And I have a lot of experience with earth medicine, plant medicine. And however, through a series of choices, I decided to back myself into a corner, much so like the wounded healer. And I was also, I can relate to that sensation of feeling stuck, feeling in such a dark place that I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get out of it. I wasn't quite sure. I had honestly felt like, this divide between the worlds where the one's going this way and one's going that way had gotten so wide that I was kind of trapped on the side that was doomed to destruction. And I found Merkaba Church through Habitual Prosperity, which is Dale's brainchild, and it was just this really beautiful series of events that took place from me reading an excerpt of Dale's book on Amazon, and it just trickled, and then accidentally calling him on instead of my employee at the time. And so, I mean, I was in a really dark place, and it kind of all unfolded beautifully. Like knowing the truth, but still being stuck in the darkness is a really difficult place to be in. It's a really sticky feeling. It's really like you feel like you're moving in molasses, and no matter what you do, or no matter what I did, let me speak for myself, I couldn't get out of that spot that I was in. And I knew the truth. I've tapped into that deep sense of knowing and stillness inside of me before, but it had been buried by all of the expectations of the world once again, by all the expectations of others, by having to have all of these things that I'm told that I need in order to be comfortable, yet still being incredibly uncomfortable because I wasn't living my truth and my purpose. And so being in that dark place, when I got the opportunity to come on a Merkaba retreat, it was like the little white flag. I had finally surrendered, and then the boat of people that were waiting for me to come back and save me from myself, showed up, and I hopped on board. Yeah, that was me.
So amazing. All of you, yes, you all came in with a lot of baggage, and you left no baggage at the gate. So that was amazing.
For sure.
Okay. So was there a particular moment during your retreat that really like moved you? I mean, I know there were probably a lot of them, but like one that you would like to share briefly about? One that really
I
sticks.
have one, and it's honestly, it's happened just in the past couple weeks, but it's tied back to the retreat.
Okay.
Um, I had a lot of great connections in mine, and I've gotten kind of separated from them, and I'm slowly rebuilding that back because it really was, I was so connected and I was so like wanted to maintain these connections because they were important to me. Um, and I kept in touch with people, kept checking in with people, and it was not coming the other way as much. And then the past month, um, I've reconnected with a couple people, and it was just like things that they experienced and processed and stuff. It was hard. And so, whereas my reaction was to want to get closer and maintain that, theirs was the opposite. And so, we had amazing conversations to talk this through. No one felt hurt. There was hurt. I was hurt. I got to say that. I got to say I felt abandoned, and not saying that it wasn't taken in like, how dare, no one got defensive. I could genuinely say that and they can absorb it. And like, I'm going back to those connections from the retreat and rekindling those. Like, and I don't know, even just that ability to say, dude, this sucks. What the hell? And to actually sit down and have that conversation. I don't even know if I would have been able to, I know I wouldn't have been able to just say, hey, this is not cool,
Mm-hmm.
and not felt sort of like people pleasery, caretakery kind of way. The opportunity presented itself and I just laid it out there and it was received beautifully. Everyone got to have their feelings, everyone got to say what they needed to say without anyone, I don't know how to describe it. Like, and no one's sitting there like hooking into it. No one's like wounded by it. They're like, no, I see how you felt that way. And thought I was protecting you by not giving you my crap. Meanwhile, you felt abandoned. That kind of stuff. And I don't know. So that to me, it just is, I don't know. I feel like my connections from the retreat, I hope to have with me, whether it's from my direct retreat or helping someone like Aon or whatever. Like I love witnessing it. I love being a part of this, like in whatever way I can, because it's a beautiful journey. And um, yeah, I was really proud of just rekindling that lately and just being able to say, dude, you suck. And it was like, yep, I did suck.
So for you, like connection was one of the things that was so important for you, was the connections that you made with your fellow participants and with your facilitators.
Yep. And yeah, I feel much better about it. I don't know, I needed it right now. I'm back in a very clogged space. So this is a great time for me to revisit. what did I get from this? What would I like to get again?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
All right. Thank you. Others, favorite moment or
The something unexpected, and everything I experienced was unexpected, right? I zero zero effing expectation with intent. Uh, but one of the things that was most impactful, and it was the sweat lodge, the Temescal.
yeah.
Um, I the, everything that led up the previous nights, everything seemed to lead up to that experience for me. Um, hearing others talking about how it can mimic the womb and a rebirth. And I just thought, okay, great. I'm glad that was what it felt like for you. Holy cow, that's what it felt like for me. And uh, I am an emotional being, always have been, always will be. I love that part of myself. I
Mm.
was not overly or even partially emotional, which was crazy. It was very crazy for me at that time. Um, it's e- Everything led to that point for me, which that was the unexpected part, right? It's like, oh, whoa. And really upon reflection, both immediate and later reflection is that seemed to hold the most weight for me and really tied my experiences together. All right, it's like, oh, that was the hinge point for me. And really really amazed that something seemingly so simple had such a huge impact. um, and it was the togetherness, it was the singing, it was the uh, dripping sweat that was both relieving. Like I felt really relieved being hot and sweaty like that. um, and that was clearly, as you can see, that had the biggest impact for me of the things we experienced. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. I love it.
For me, one of the things that really is potent and powerful is the integrated conversations that we have with fellow participants, like right after or shortly after an experience. And I think first off, like the very first little thing we did on the beach, we did the Kundalini yoga, and we just did like a little bit of mushroom capsules, like opened up my heart. And then we did something else on the beach, I believe it was later. And there was
Did
the
it
set,
offering to see.
oh, the offering to the sea, yes. And then when I heard the rocks going like that, they were so symbolic to like me closing up my heart, because I kept asking myself, okay, I feel my heart opening, but it doesn't stay that way, and I have no power, and it closes without me having any power over it. And then the integrative conversation that I had with Eric, who was my co-participant in the retreat, was like, well, but you do have power to open and close, and that blocking that you're building these bricks up around your heart. You can at any point in time take them down, and you get to choose when I put those bricks up and when I take those bricks down. And just like that realization that I have that power, where for so many years I had given that power up to like whatever, like I have no idea. Like I didn't realize that I actually have the power to open my heart and close my heart at will. And so that was a really powerful moment for me.
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, for me, it was also a moment of power. Like Drabo has found her voice in her power, right? And can have those conversations. And Aeon found the power to harness, the ability for his heart to open and close and to be in control of that. I'm tell you, when I hit Bufo land, I stepped into power that I had never known, of a vibration of myself. And it was the most, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because I held myself in such a state of holiness that nothing nothing could stand in my way, that I could change it all, that I could cure myself on my own say so, and that I didn't need like a deity outside of myself. It was all in that oneness of that it is me, I am it. And it was in finding that um, which also funny enough, like there were so many things. It healed my lineage, which had never felt safe, was just chock a block of abuse and gross, you know just horrible things that had gone on generationally, in terms of just crazy, right? And so to be able to cure that, and then also what was super powerful for me was finding my voice in light languages. Now, mind you, this had been going on for some time for me, and having been diagnosed with a brain disease, and I start talking this gibberish, I'm like, I've lost my path to English. Like, it was so upsetting to me that I could still think in English, but the words that were coming out were something I felt like I understood, but I didn't know the words. And so to find, like, through the mushroom ceremony, every single iteration that I had ever been step forward and speak its truth in a language that I did not know made me understand what that was, and that I wasn't sick. I was just functioning from a different place, you know, and it was very powerful for me to be able to. Um, do you remember, Christopher, how embarrassed I was to speak
Yeah.
light languages when I first showed? I wouldn't even do it in front of you. Because I had been trying to suppress it for so long. I was so embarrassed by it. I was like, it was humiliating to me that I had this weird gibberish coming out of my mouth. I didn't want to be that person, and so it gave real purpose to what that was, and now it's become a very powerful thing when I pray for somebody in sessions with my clients, and I pray for them in light language. I mean, they're just tears, for both of us, because it's the vibration of what I'm bringing forth that lives beyond me, beyond even my own language, that just becomes super powerful. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember at the end of our mushroom ceremony, and typically when we do mushroom ceremony, those ceremonies are all about inner work. And so if you're in a group, you stay on your mat or your seat. There's no interacting, there's no touching generally, unless of course you need a facilitator to come over and hold you or to ground you or something like that, because that we are available for all of that, of course. But typically you're doing your own inner work and there's no talking until after the ceremony is over. And the ceremony had come to an end, and Sorellen looks at me, and I could see that it was coming out of him. He couldn't even stop the language from coming out of his lips, but he thought he wasn't allowed to share it because I guess he didn't know the ceremony was time. And I said, brother, let it out, speak this language. And I remember I went into the kitchen, I left him outside at the temple, and I went into the kitchen to make a beautiful plate of fruit, and he just went to town, and it was so beautiful just to hear him just be free to be himself and to channel that beautiful language from the stars. It was, oh, just touched my heart. It was so beautiful. Okay,
powerful night. That's
all right, let's
I
move
got
on.
the names.
One word,
Okay.
one word to describe Merkaba Retreats. One word. I know, it's hard.
Transformational.
Mm.
Don't waste my word. I gotta come up with another one now.
I'm gonna go with remember. That's what it reminds me of. Like I remembered who I am.
Yeah, remembrance. Yeah, good.
Remember, yeah, it's been a big theme for me even since then. Is none of this is new. It's tapping into me and remembering who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Empowering,
empowering.
empowering, for really, Drabo, the same reasons, right? Empowering all these thoughts and feelings and emotions, that I know who I am and I've known who I am. and I can show them and be me every single time I need to be, which is all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
Reclamation.
Reclamation.
Yeah, because I think it embodies a lot of everything that we're saying here, just to reclaim our power, reclaim our purpose, reclaim our direction, reclaim our sovereignty, all of it. It's just like we really just reclaim all that we are, which is all that is. And so that's my word.
Love it. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, so how has your life shifted since the retreat? Some of you went to retreats back in January, others a little bit after that. So I know we were some different timing here, and you don't necessarily need to share that. But how has your life shifted? How has your relationship with yourself shifted, and others shifted? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for me, it gave me a practice that I did not have before. And this was something that really came through in my ceremony when Richie was there speaking to me and guiding me in the astral, which I didn't even know was a real thing. And he was really kind of letting me have it and kind of like making me meet myself in a very uncomfortable way, and he was telling me, you have no surrender and you have no practice. And I was like, I can't argue with that. I don't have a daily practice. Whereas now I do. I mean, I get up, well before dawn, and I hit my mat, and the interesting thing was that while Christopher really led me in his practice, it wasn't until I came home and started to develop my own practice that it allowed me every morning to tap in to that power that I knew and felt and vibed with for the first time ever, like in Bufo land. And for me to every morning remember that, every morning to adopt that, every morning start my day in a place of power, which allows me, just so much more the ability to step back, because like the problems aren't bigger than me. I'm bigger than my problems. And there's a safety there, right? That I don't have to react. I don't have to even engage. I just have to hold myself in reverence. And that's how I start my day. And that's been the biggest shift for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think for me, the biggest shift has
I
been.
would say the same thing. I have a daily.
Go ahead, Drevo.
Good.
You're ahead.
Um, I was just going to say I've developed a practice that I didn't have before, also wasn't even on my radar. And now it's daily, multiple times. I sit, meditate, get back to actually, as I'm saying this, I realize I've strayed from it in the last couple weeks. I'm like, girl, get back to it. Get back to it. Um, because yeah, my day can get kind of away from me, and then I ground and get back, and whether it's through Kundalini, meditation, chants, you know, different, things like that has really helped me to develop. When things get wild, I just go back to myself. I go back to grounding, and yeah, I did it this morning and it was very satisfying. And I realized as I was doing it this morning, you've gotten a little too far away from this.
Yeah.
So let's get back. So
Um, for me, I think it's just given me a center to operate from. Where I mean, like I said, I have a history with earth medicine for 15 years, and likewise, I have a devotion now that I didn't have before in any of my previous practices with earth medicine, or even as a spiritual wellness coach. I am a yoga instructor, so like I did yoga, but I didn't do it like with as much devotion as I do now, and finding ways to carry that devotion into everything that I do. I've also found like just recognizing that everything is sacred. Like even this computer that we're talking on right now is sacred because everything exists within the construct and within the concept of a divine higher power. And because of that, that means everything is sacred. And as I move through my life and I treat my relationships as sacred, I treat my service as sacred, I treat the work I do with Merkaba Retreats as sacred, my friendships as sacred. I mean, everything shifts. I relate to people differently. I relate to myself differently. I treat myself as sacred, number one. And all of that kind of, echoes out into the world, and then everything changes. To say that anything is the same from before, everything has shifted and in a really powerful way, and in a way that I hope that I wish that like everyone in politics had to do a bufo ceremony before they got voted in, because we would live in a much better world. That is without doubt. And I hope that more people, feel the calling and create the courage within themselves to be free, because it really is, we came here to be free and sovereign beings, and we live in a society that wants to ensnare us and make us feel like we're a slave to the paycheck, and we're a slave to, companies and corporations. And this is an opportunity to reclaim your power and your purpose, and to really tap into what we're here to do, as beings, and to elevate into that.
Serving the kingdom. Yes. Okay.
One of the biggest changes for me has been how much I respect myself more, respect what I feel, respect my actions more, and through that having more grace with myself, and then there in turn having more grace with others. Now, 100% perfect? No, there's no such thing. But I realize that and I understand it, and I look now more so than I ever did as those are places for my growth,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's with an individual or more specifically with myself, that's reminding myself that I am constantly learning, and that includes about myself. Uh, and I have to, because if I don't, right, to mirror what I've heard so far is become stagnant. I become stuck. And once I become stuck, just spinning the wheels. And it does nothing but create a bigger rut and create a bigger void for me to be angry about. And I'm not angry. I'm not an angry being. I'm not an angry person. Um, and once I'm able to, as I like to say, not even let those things go, not even pick them up to begin with, right? I don't have to carry this crap if I never pick the crap up. And I'm happy about that. I'm so very happy about that. Um, and my hope is that it is that others are seeing it and others are witnessing it. If not, that's okay. I know I'm seeing it and I'm witnessing it. And I am extremely happy about that part.
I love it. I love it. Oh, so much transformation, so much growth. It feels good to vibrate, at a higher frequency. Yes. Yeah, it's amazing. It's total freedom, right? Yeah, and yeah, we're still here, and we're still human, and so we still have human issues, the stupid human stuff I call it, that we have to work through on a daily basis. But we're able to do it with grace today, and owning our power and our sovereignty, which is great. Okay, now if someone is on the fence, okay, let's say you have someone on the fence about attending a Merkaba retreat, what would you tell them?
I would ask them how their life's working out for them right now. How's that going for you? Would you like to meet a new version of yourself that
Ooh,
exists beyond how you know yourself now?
mm,
Yeah.
Is that at all interesting to you to, you know, like take that metamorphosis and become a new version of you, one that is less angry, one that is less reactive, one that is centered and grounded and has tools and power and, just all these amazing things that you don't necessarily get it all in the week of the retreat, but the integration process, which is, a process, but
Ongoing process.
process. Yeah. But once you get home and start in like, adopting those learnings and that vibration and into your life back at home and see how you can operate differently, like that would be what I would say.
Yeah, that is,
I'll
I think, go ahead, Draco.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, if you can't stop thinking about it, there's a reason. So just do it. Like, because that's how it was with me. I couldn't get it off my mind. I was like, me and my friends were manifesting. How can I get this to work for me? And yeah, just go. Just go.
And I think the biggest thing is to ask questions, much like what was said. Um, it's asking, what have you done up to this? Like you said, Sorella, and how's that working out for you? Right? Um, you know, and just reminding, especially if it's someone that's on a journey, right? That has started their journey already, asking them the steps they've taken, right? To want to heal themselves, find themselves, whatever that may mean for them, and say, hey, listen, much like me, this is another step that I needed to take. I needed to. I wanted to also, but I freaking needed to so badly. And and my hope is that I continue to take these steps, right? That I know have proven beneficial for me, right? And so that's my plan. And so it's asking them questions about themselves, helping them decide what the answer is for them, while telling them, hey, here's everything that I got. Here's everything I got from it.
Good.
I would tell them, growth, change is inevitable. And, we have two choices in life. We get to participate in that change, or the world forces that change upon us. And if you're called to this experience, this is the most powerful way we can reclaim our ability to participate in the change that happens as time moves forward. This is the most powerful way to reclaim clarity and purpose, clarity and mind, and this is the most powerful way to set ourselves free. And my question would be, suffering is optional, and change is inevitable, and we welcome you here.
Yeah, welcome home. Welcome to your family. You're looking at your new family. When you sign up for a Merkaba retreat, you enter into a beautiful family. And this is just a small group of us. There are many more, and we are family. We stay in touch, we talk, we're connected on Lumara, which is our social network, online social network for the church. We're connected we're connected in the astral, we're connected in so many ways. And it's just so beautiful to have other people that you can call, that you can rely upon, that you can be there for, real people that really care about you, who have also been through this process. So if you're considering coming on a retreat and you're looking for a family that loves you, for all of you, this is it. We are it. And so as we close tonight, if you could offer one blessing or intention to everyone watching, what would it be? A blessing or intention? Doesn't have to be long, just something short.
Only one, though. That's the problem.
I know. I know.
Embrace freedom. Embrace freedom from the muck that you've been slogging through forever, forever, however long that may be. Like, embrace it, take it back, make it yours. It is yours. It's mine. I'm grabbing it. I'm still grabbing it. Still grab it. Still grab it. Grab it.
I have to second that. Set yourself free. My intention is for all beings to set themselves free and to shine as the beautiful spirit, soul being that they are.
I think for me, I just want, I don't know, I've moved through this world often thinking that the answers were outside of myself or someone else could fix me or whatever, and it's all within. Like everything starts from right here. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to, request it. It's right there. And yeah, that's just look within. Mhm.
Yeah, the blessing would be to have that little bit of courage to just start out on the trail. Because it's there that, like how everybody has said here, that this journey for one, which is you meeting yourself, changes you. And while sure you go through it with other people, it's arriving home with a new version of a relationship with yourself, having tools to heal yourself, having tools to know your own power, that it becomes really exciting and it becomes fun, and you don't have to wade in the awfulness of the world. You don't even have to participate that, and after a while you don't even see it. And so just to have that little bit of courage to step out onto the path and know that while yes, that takes courage, it starts to get really good really fast.
Great. Good stuff, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like more information about Merkaba Retreats, it's merkabaretreats.com. We're also on YouTube at Merkaba Retreats. We also have a Facebook page, Merkaba Retreats. You can find us everywhere, and we would love for you to find us. We would love for you to come home. We would love for you to join us here in our home temple in Mexico, or we travel and we'll come to you anywhere in the world. So just reach out. We'd love to have a conversation with you about where you are in your life and what you're looking to do about it. Okay. One final note, if you'd like to speak with anyone that's been on the panel tonight, you can let me know, or you can email them or contact them directly. You can, let's see, I think, yes, everybody is available except for Eric. If you want to reach out to Eric and talk to Eric, you can find him on Lumara. You can get more information about Lumara on the Merkaba Retreats website or the Merkaba Church website. You can find my email, Aon's email, Sorellen's email, Drabo's email on the merkabaretreats.com website. You can also find all of our socials and all of our contact information on merkabachurch.com. So you can find us, and we are all available to talk to you about whatever. So come find us, come find out what we're doing in the world, and we look forward to hearing from you. So as we close, I took a moment and I channeled some words of wisdom from the Guru and the Council of Light. Here they are for you. You have walked through fire and breath, through silence and song, through ceremony and shadow, and you have emerged radiant. We, the Council of Light, see you, not as students, but as sovereign sparks carrying forward the codes of remembrance planted long before time. Let this moment mark your return, not to the past, but to your purpose. Let your voice become an instrument of peace. Let your work become a blessing to the world, and let your very being become the prayer. You are not alone, and you are not behind, and you are not unfinished. You are the medicine. So walk on, dear ones, with grace in your steps, with fire in your hearts, and with the invisible arms of the lineage wrapped around your every breath. We walk with you, we rise through you, and we rejoice in you. Om Guru Ahom. Thank you guys for being here. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Night,
Doing okay. Have a good night.
night, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Love you.